Welcome to this E-50M replay on Ruinberg. The E-50, oh E-50 by the way, not E-50M. The E-50 is being played by ermeneghildo from P0NY, and ermeneghildo is actually a colleague from work. And it's a bit of a funny story because in the past couple of years I've worked at pretty much all the major studios in London that have like 1,000 employees each. And ermeneghildo is actually the first colleague I've found that actually plays World of Tanks, which actually quite surprised me because I thought there would be more people playing this, but it turns out there's not. But yeah, anyway, we had a chat at work and he mentioned that he'd send me replays if he had good battles, and this is one of them. So the E-50. The E-50 is a really nice tier 9 medium. Back when I played it though, it had a lower rate of fire because I actually played this E-50 even before the E-50M was introduced, when this was the top of the line German medium tank. So my memories of this tank are hazy at best, but I do recall that I really liked this tank, mainly for the gun handling, because back then, as you might or might not know, each nation had pretty specific characteristics in terms of tanks. You had Germans, which were basically the long-range snipers. You had Americans, which had the high rate of fire, but they had a bit of a potato guns, but they had really good turret armor, were like the hull-down tanks in World of Tanks. And then you have the Russians, which had the big boomsticks, the hard hitters, which were really not that accurate, but they did have pretty good all-round armor. But then in their infinite wisdom, Wargaming decided to buff everyone's accuracy, so now you might as well drive an IS-3 for all that it's worth, and they managed to remove all the good sniping spots from all the maps as well. So yeah, all in all, this quite interesting balance and characteristics that we had before are now pretty much useless in most respects. But I mean, ermeneghildo is managing to put quite a lot of fire in his E-50 so far. Unfortunately, as you can see, Wargaming in their great programming skills managed to implement new hit logs in the last patch, but they also managed to completely break it for replays, so we can't actually see how much damage ermeneghildo is doing so far. We can see when he's bouncing, and we can obviously see when he's hitting, but we can't see the total. So yeah, hopefully they'll fix that in the next patch. It's interesting that it didn't work at first, and that they didn't actually have someone test it, but then we're used to that kind of nonsense from Wargaming, so to speak. So this is one of the things that the E-50 is really good at, and it's side scraping. You basically just try to get as flat an angle as possible on your tank while coming around the corner, and then enemies will bounce off your sides. And the E-50 and both the E-50 and the E-50M are good at it because they've got really nice side armor. You need proper side armor for that, because if you try this with a tank that has like 20 side armor, your sides get overmatched. Even if it's an auto ricochet angle of 70, the shell caliber will be so large that it will still penetrate your armor. But ermeneghildo couldn't shoot anything on the left side, so he decided to go to the right to see if he could actually put some fire in. Now the E-50 compared to the E-50M has got 220 on the regular AP shells, and it's got 270 on the APCR shells. So basically these APCR shells will be default shells for the tier 10 version of this tank. But here they're premium ammo, but ermeneghildo manages to not use them so far. And that was a mysterious shot on the T-32 that went completely nowhere, it seemed. But this one actually hits, and this gun, it's a 105, so it's got 390 average damage, but it has some really nice rolls occasionally. I mean, the roll before this you saw was pretty nice, and ermeneghildo manages to track the T-32 in the open here. Shoots him again, and then the T-32 decides to use a repair kit. So why he didn't use his repair kit earlier is beyond me. I mean, it could have saved him quite a lot of HP, so he would stay in the fight longer, but he didn't, so that's his bad. T-32 managed to kill the Scorpion though, but then ermeneghildo picks him up. And now we've just got this T-34 and the TD in the back, Captain Caps Lock. He's played his tank actually quite well because he's still full health, which is quite good for a tier 9 match, because that tank is actually quite crap. But he did manage to put a couple of nice shots into ermeneghildo, who is still spotted for some reason. Dings obviously this SU-12244, and now there's just Captain Caps Lock left, which must be feeling quite sad by now. So ermeneghildo puts a shot in, angles his armor, but the T-34 shoots someone completely different. And that is the match. So yeah, as you can see, ermeneghildo has got 2 marks of excellence on his E-50, so he's definitely playing it quite a lot, it would seem. We will go to the end battle results now, so see you there. And here, as you can see, we've got the results for ermeneghildo's match. As you can see, obviously it's an ace tanker badge, but also he got a high caliber and a top gun for his really nice amount of kills. He managed to get 6 kills, obviously, as you saw in the match, 1301 base XP for a total of 5561 damage, which is really impressive. It's almost double the amount of the next guy on this team. As you can see, there was a bit of damage blocked by armor, which is good. I mean, that's what the E-50 and the E-50M are famous for, that they're if you side scrape properly, they're one of the more heavily armored tier 10 mediums, apart from the turret, so as long as people don't shoot you in the turret, you're fine. Not much assistance damage, but that's not really what we're here for. All in all, I mean, a really nice match, really nice ace tanker. E-50 is definitely a good tier 9 medium. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the match. If you did, feel free to rate it, subscribe, and see you guys next time.